Hello there and welcome to episode 27 of Colonization Project. Right now we are launching the Luna transfer vehicle up to Minimus because where else would we be sending it? We don't have much around the Mun right now, and we don't really have anything in Kerbin orbit right now, except Singularity, but I'll deal with that later. I don't want to be fiddling around with asteroids right now because, asteroids, well, I can't find out what the right balance is between ISRU and Nerva engines. So everything's still up there. However, yeah, it just doesn't work. Nothing works on that spacecraft. Which is kind of unfortunate because we spent probably way too much money actually building it, all the infrastructure around it. But oh well, by the end of this episode we're going to have unlimited money because if you haven't read the title or the thumbnail of this video, you'll know that we are starting our space exploitation adventures over Minimus and on Minimus. But this is not that. It's part of it, but it's not the main thing about it. You can also see I forgot to recover the boosters again. So now we have 3 boosters on the drone ship, one which is toppled over. Yeah, it's getting quite crowded on that drone ship. Don't worry, I'll recover them later. Hopefully I'll recover them later. I normally don't recover them unless I actually have a mission. Unless I actually have a mission that I need to do with them. If I have a mission I need to do with them, then I'm going to open up the Kerbal construction time menu. I'm going to be like, where is the booster? And then I'm going to look at the tracking station. And I'm like, oh, the booster's on the drone ship. I should probably recover those. Otherwise, I'm just going to be like, I don't need it. It can just stay there. It's not really hurting anything except the space on the drone ship. Thankfully, I did scale up the drone ship to like 2 times its normal size. So I did that so we can land larger boosters. Definitely not because I couldn't land on that small of a target. I probably can, given enough practice. I can probably land on a normal sized drone ship. However, I wanted to prepare it for massive rockets, like rockets larger than 5 meters. So yeah, and anyways, we have sent the Luna transfer vehicle to the Minimus orbital outpost, and it is going to dock to the Minimus orbital outpost, and then it's going to refuel at the Minimus orbital outpost, because as you can see we have 12 meters per second left of fuel, which isn't enough to land on Minimus, however little it actually takes to do so. So yeah, we're just refueling it. And you may be wondering what's going to happen with the Minimus orbital outpost, because I have said in previous videos that, I might have said this, I might have not, I'm not sure. I have planned to replace the Minimus orbital outpost once we've harvested all the science from it. We're going to replace it with an orbital construction dock. However, I have been given the idea to instead repurpose the Minimus orbital outpost into a, how do I say this? Into a interplanetary ship that can build things, which is going to be very useful because what am I trying to say here? Yeah, so the design that I have in mind, it won't be able to move around. At least not for a while, because we don't have incredibly efficient engines yet that can propel a giant spacecraft to distant worlds. Once we unlock things like the Daedalus engine or the Kerbin fusion engine, maybe then I definitely will then have it be able to move around. But until then, we might need to construct infrastructure around like Jool or Duna or Eve, and it'll be quite useful to have a small little spacecraft that can, just take some material, basically what it's going to be an orbital construction dock that can move around. We can probably toss out a few modules that we won't need after once we do eventually do that. Like maybe a couple science labs or the small little habitation pod, or like the life support. I don't know yet. I'll find it out later once I actually get to that. But yeah, that's probably what's going to happen with the Minimus orbital outpost. Anyways, you may have wondered what we were doing there. So to explain it, the Minimus miner, which we sent in the last episode, which I have decided to rename the Minimus miners to the Factorio miners, because I bought myself Factorio for Christmas, and it's quite fun. It's very addicting, and it's also very fun. And you can probably also tell why there hasn't been a video for 8 days now. I believe it's actually 9 now. 9 days. Yeah, you can probably tell why. But yeah, I decided to name it because, they're both giant factories. Well, one's a factory building game, but you get the idea. So yeah, I thought that was a decent name, and it's less generic than Minimus Miner. So yeah, I might eventually name it. No, I already have named it that. I might eventually. No, I should. Let me move on to the next topic. What we were doing at Minimus. Now, what we were doing at the Minimus Factorial Miner thingy. What we were doing there is I can't think today. So the one we sent up last episode, it was configured to mine exotic minerals and rare metals, which doesn't help us much because there isn't any of those there. So we just need to send some crew over there to reconfigure it, make it mine ore instead of exotic minerals and rare metals, and have it actually function. What you saw that we were doing there, we unlocked the Rapier engine, which will allow us to upgrade the endurance, which is good because it makes the endurance go faster. That's pretty good, no? And then what we did after that was we sent one of the crew members on EVA because we had a contract to plant a flag on Minimus. However, what the contract doesn't realize is that we already have a permanent crew on the surface of Minimus, so we can just take a walk outside, plant a flag, take down the flag, we get the money. Yay, more funding for the space program. I probably won't take too much advantage of the fact that those contracts still exist. I will try and limit myself on those. However, Yeah, I might also not. However, I have been very good with the sort of quote unquote rules that I've set for myself, like doing one tier at a time with tech nodes. Like, I don't like to just head for one certain tech node, because then we would unlock fusion propulsion before we have the Mark II command pod. That wouldn't be very good. Now would it? You can also see there, the booster just decided to not exist anymore. It decided to explode because of my bad piloting skills. Yeah, it exploded because we ran out of fuel. Probably the first time I've actually had problems running into fuel issues with. No, Sunset Star has a few fuel issues. In case you didn't notice, no, I said notice, but I was trying to say no. English is a weird language. So I'm not sure if I've said this before, but Sunset Star doesn't have enough fuel to get back to Kerbin. You may think, oh no, this is bad, the crew is going to die. They actually have a significant amount of life support. They have enough to last them until the next transfer window. So what we can do is we can send a refueling mission out to Sunset Star. We can refuel Sunset Star. We can head home. Profit. It probably I believe Sunset Star actually does have enough fuel to get home. However, it doesn't have enough fuel in order to break into an orbit, because in case you haven't noticed, there's no heat shields on board. Because that thing is quite expensive to make new interplanetary craft. I don't even want to know how much Sunset Star costed. Costs? I don't know. But yeah, we do want to be reusing Sunset Star. We might send it out to Eve again, maybe with a better propulsion module, because we have better nuclear engines right now. We also do have I'm not sure if I've unlocked it yet, but I do have some plasma propulsion that we can use. I'm not sure if it's plasma. I'm not entirely sure, but it's some sort of electrical propulsion. So yeah. Also, it's quite impossible for it to actually get back to Kerbin, because it doesn't have a heat shield. It doesn't have a heat shield. It doesn't have parachutes, because I designed it to break back into a Kerbin orbit and not burn up in the atmosphere, because that would be a terrible waste of money if we didn't reuse that spacecraft. Same thing will happen with Opportunity. Hopefully we don't have the fuel issues. But in the meantime, the crew of Sunset Star will be completely oblivious to the fact that they are basically stranded until a rescue mission comes. Because, that would ensure added fear in the minds of those poor Kerbals, who are probably further out in space than any Kerbal has been before. Because Sunset Star hasn't arrived, and I'm not sure if Duna is actually farther away than Kerbin. Actually, they are quite possibly the farthest Kerbals from Kerbin, because Eve is probably on the opposite side of the sun, and Opportunity has sort of followed Kerbin's path for a while. Anyways, the Duna lander, the Curiosity Duna rover has arrived at Duna. And it is capturing. It was supposed to go a bit faster, but I forgot to set an alarm for it. So I just used hyperedit to get it into an orbit. I did test this. This is like the only aspect of the Duna mission that I did actually test. And it can aerobrake safely with, it can aerobrake safely from an interplanetary speeds. You might also may have noticed the nuclear transfer stage, which we didn't actually need. Yeah, it crashed into Duna too. If there was life on Duna, there certainly isn't anymore, because the fallout from that nuclear engine burning up, it would most certainly kill most life on Duna if they haven't evolved to suffer the extreme radiation that Duna doesn't block. Because Duna actually doesn't have a very large magnetic field, so any life that did exist on Duna would probably evolve to suffer extreme radiation, unless they're living in like underground caves. That's a whole different case. On the topic of nuclear engines, which I've talked about probably way too much in this series, I might be wrong about the whole nuclear engines aren't radioactive thing. The exhaust is not radioactive. However, in space, you want to save mass. Reactor shielding is quite... It takes up a lot of mass. So I'm not sure if I've been subjecting my poor Kerbals to dangerous levels of radiation or not. But let's just say that the reactors are safe, they don't emit much radiation, and that we have good enough shielding for them. Good enough meaning it's on the very edge, because we want to save on mass. Hopefully. Although the exhaust is still not radioactive, so unless you're, of course, using a weird nuclear engine like liquid cores or gas cores or fusion engines. I've talked about that a couple episodes ago, so I'm not going to go into that again because I think I have a habit of going into tangents about nuclear engines because those are very interesting topics, you know? Because they're nuclear propulsion is cool. Anyways, right now we are taking EVESAT 1, I believe, and it has finished scanning Gilly, and it now needs to scan Eve, because I don't want to be landing a future crew in the middle of the ocean, because yeah, then the whole lander would sink into the depths of the Eve ocean, and then it would no longer be called Kerbal Space Program, rather Kerbal Submarine Program, because those Kerbals would now have to spend the rest of their lives underwater, and the darkest depths of Eve's Explodium Sea, which means, yeah, it probably has a habit of going boom when you ignite a match near it. What would happen if you had an entire sea of gasoline, and then you just... Oh, wait, no, that's what oil spills are. On to the next topic. No, but Eve's Explodium Sea is different because it's explodium. So if you ignite a match near it, it would explode. What would happen if you had an entire ocean that did that, and then you just lit it on fire and have it all explode? Like, what would happen? How much potential does explosive potential does a kilogram of explodium from Eve's Explodium Sea have? You know, these are questions that have to be asked. For scientific purposes, of course. 100% scientific purposes. However, sending a Kerbal to Eve and back probably won't happen for a very long time, because I'm very bad at EVASAT missions. Although EVASATs have gotten quite easier with the addition of propellers. So yeah, it's not. I can probably engineer one, but it probably won't be very mass efficient. Anyways, we are launching this absolute abomination out to Minimus. Yeah, it's pretty cursed. And we have a problem. And since I'm an engineer in Kerbal Space Program at least, I solve practical problems. This is a practical problem. And you may be asking, what's the problem you need to solve? What's the problem you need to solve to, in order to warrant this absolute monstrosity being launched? We need to ship $11 million, Kerbucks, funds, whatever you want to call them. We need to ship. I know they're probably called funds, but I kind of like to call them credits with a K, because that sounds a bit more Kerbal than funds. Credits sounds like a good name, but the little F on the fundometer thing, yeah, probably simulates funds. Anyways, right now we are. Oh yeah, we need to ship $11 million worth of exotic minerals and rare metals, from Minimus to Kerbin, and then land it all safely. So we are using this cursed combination of starship parts in order to do that. I mean, it works. It works. So it gets the job done. That's basically all it does. It doesn't look pretty, but it gets the job done. We could probably do this less cursed if I decide to just use orbital refueling, which would be quite interesting because I haven't really done that before with starships. So I might make this less cursed, more like a normal starship, and then just have it, and then just have a series of tankers that, you know, can do things around Minimus, i.e. refuel this thing up. That's actually a really good idea that suddenly came to mind. You know, I'm probably going to do that, so I don't have to look at this abomination ever again, because I don't like it, and chances are neither do you. Because, yeah, it's 2 starship tanks bolted together with 3 pairs of wings, some parachutes, 9 Raptor vacuum engines, and that cargo container on the back, and some... Yeah, I don't really like it that much. Anyways... We do have a contract to collect scientific data from the ionographer experiment, which gives me a chance to use the breaking ground stuff. I haven't really used that before. I haven't used it much before. I probably have used it before. Oh yeah, yeah. You can also see the crew. Most probably who is this? For some reason, YouTube is like this weird full screen theater thing. Zelmud. Most likely her, because she's the engineer on board. Probably the entire crew could have pitched in, just constructing it all. Actually. Yeah, they've been hard at work creating a brand new landing pad for things like that thing. I'm probably going to call it the Thingamajig Mark II, because it's probably too cursed to be considered a starship anymore. So, because if you don't remember, the other thing that the Minimus, that shipped exotic minerals and rare metals, that was called the Thingamajig Mark I. So, we can only continue the Thingamajig series by naming it Thingamajig Mark II. So, that's what we're doing right now. And oh yeah, I forgot, the storage containers are flipped into the fuel tank. It's even more cursed now. However, it can fit in the nose cone. I made sure that I wasn't abusing the volume too much. It's just so it's aerodynamically, it's really just so it's aerodynamically stable. Nothing else. Because if I had it at the top, then Starship would just go into a note. Once again, I'm not sure if you can consider this an actual starship. It would just go into a complete nosedive. Nosedive? nosedive if I had it actually positioned at the cargo bay. So yeah, I just slipped it into the metal. Hopefully the engineers found a way around that. Maybe they placed the fuel tanks in the nose cone section. I don't know what the Kerbal engineers do over at the vehicle assembly building. Maybe they do. They do engineer things. Anyways, we have filled it up with quite a significant amount of exotic minerals and rare metals. And we are sending it back to Kerbin. You can also see the thrust to weight ratio, even on Minimus, is very low. Probably the first time I've had to use full throttle on something lifting off from on Minimus, with chemical engines at least. So yeah, the exotic minerals and rare metals, they're quite heavy. And yeah, they're not very space efficient. I should note they're very space efficient because they're so dense. However, yeah, they weigh a lot. Definitely not the most efficient way. However, there are like 3 valuable resources, which first one, the exotic mineral. Oh, excuse me again. Exotic minerals and rare metals, which we are shipping back right now. And yeah, you got refined exotics too. Then you got helium-3, which is used to power fusion propulsion and reactors and stuff. Then you got antimatter. Antimatter is probably what we're going to go to next because I don't know. Just producing large amounts of helium-3 is tedious, at least. Because, you have to set up a whole new production chain for that. Antimatter, you can just launch a station into a geostationary orbit, and then it's just going to passively collect antimatter for you. So that's a bit easier. Anyways, you can now see we are re-entering Kerbin with, we do enter, I think we do actually lose something. I'm not sure what. Oh yeah, we lose the Raptor, we lose the Vector engine. Vector engine, because Raptor vacuum. Raptor vac, Vector. Get it? I didn't make that joke up. Oh yeah, we did lose one of those. But we can deploy the parachutes, all that stuff. And then we can make a nice soft landing in the middle of the ocean. Not good for the Starship because, saltwater corrosion and all that. However, hopefully we won't be using that thing again, ever. Because it's quite cursed. However, you can see we gain 11 million buns from just that one shipment. And we can send up lots of shipments. And with those newfound funds, we can unlock... We're not unlocking anything. We are upgrading every single building in the vehicle assembly building to level 3, just to make the Space Center look a bit nice, and... I don't know, it's just nice to not have any limitations on how many parts you can put in the VAB. Or the SPH. And then we can also upgrade the running, and then we can upgrade the administration building, which before this was still at level 1 because I never used the administration building. However, that will actually be the end of this episode. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.